Thank you. What do you do when the love you felt for your partner dries up? The spark dies and all that's left is an empty shell. Until now, the options have been to just stay in it or end it. You're about to meet a woman who lost the love she once had for her husband and decided to separate. They've been apart for some time now, and she has since become involved in a relationship with another man. At the same time, something keeps her from going through with the divorce, and she has no idea what to do. We're going to help this woman today, and it's going to be amazing. I'm Creflo, and this is Your World.
Changing one life, time after time. Oh Lord, we do it all for you.
Through the trials I see, I'll always believe a new life starts with me. Oh, change your world today. Change is gonna come your way. Change and get an understanding. His grace will transform you.
My guest today fell out of love with her husband, but has been unable to move forward with the divorce. Now she's in love with another man and doesn't know what to do next. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Melody to the Your World show today. God bless you. Welcome. Wow, this is a dilemma, huh? So the dilemma, as I understand it, is the fact that you had a marriage, the marriage separated, but you're not divorced, and you're trying to figure out what to do because of relationships that you pursued, and you'll tell us something about your husband as well. Take us into your past and tell us about how you were raised and some of the things that you saw that may be responsible for some of the things you're experiencing right now.
I was raised as a pastor's child, am a pastor's child.
PK, huh?
Yes, and so I've got to see the good and the bad behind and in front of the pulpit, and I watched my mother be a no matter what type chick.
Explain that, no matter what type of chick.
She was there putting on a good face and making sure everything was taken care of, and I just saw how she made him look good no matter what.
Did they stay married or?
I came home from 11th grade one day and saw the bags packed, and I realized maybe this time it was gonna happen. So I was 17 when that finally went down.
And how did that make you feel to see your parents split up?
To be honest with you, I did not have an opinion either way. Mm-hmm. They had set us down twice before in our childhood, saying this was gonna be it, and nothing really happened. They just kept going, so when I saw the bags, it really was just kind of like, oh, all right, today.
Would you agree that how you saw your mother and what she was going through, that it marked you in a way that you were somewhat fearful about having that same kind of relationship with a man?
Absolutely, 110%. I'm not gonna put in 20 years just to end up going anyway. Yeah. So I might as well stop at year 3 or what I'm on now.
Were you very strict about choosing the type of guy that you would marry?
I was very strict, and that's probably what the issue was. I had tunnel vision into A, B, and C.
Yeah.
This is what he was supposed to be, and when he showed up with A, B, and C, I forgot that there's a whole rest of the alphabet that I should have looked at. So, A, B, and C got me down the aisle, and by the time I'm at J and K.
You know, for the benefit of some folks that are watching today, could you explain to us in specific details of some of the things you were looking for?
Well, number one, I wanted a loyal man. I wanted a God-fearing man, a man I could trust. Now, the things that I clearly didn't factor in that still are very important in a relationship is the attraction, the things we have in common outside of God. And what happened in our relationship is when hard times hit, and it hit right after we said I do, God was dropped. We didn't have a church home, still kind of don't have a church home since we said I do.
So it's important, I know it's important to me. I tell people, make sure you can have an opportunity to see people at their worst. In other words, if you're gonna marry this beautiful woman, see her without makeup on, so you can know what's real and what's not real. It shouldn't be a surprise. You get married and get in the honeymoon, she start taking off wig, eyelashes, take a leg off and hop around the bed to see if she can catch you. I think people have this myth that, you're looking at this Romeo Juliet type of love, and it's like, you really don't know this person because you've not asked enough questions, you're not spending enough time to do these things. So I think I read somewhere where you guys had a session with somebody and they told you that you guys act more like business partners than you do lovers. Did that get your attention?
For us at the time, we thought it was a great idea because, we about kingdom business. So our whole marriage is going to be a testimony. And
but there's other business in a marriage that you're going to probably want to, like bedroom business. Do I like this person?
I
Do I
did
want to
not.
spend?
I
So
should
you
have
didn't think
focused
about
on
that?
that. We were thinking more as far as, I guess you can say monetary.
Mammon is what I call it. The spirit of mammon is a spirit that when it's on you, it's designed to get you to trust in money more than you trust in God. And the spirit of mammon can get you to do some things that sometimes the spirit of God can't get you to do. So people will sometimes marry somebody that they don't love if the money's right, if the numbers are right. I don't have to love you, I'll figure that out later. But you can buy me a house, you can buy me a car, you can give me a good living.
I've been told that. I had a friend's mother actually tell her, and she told me that you find a man that loves you, you can always learn to love him.
Somebody told you that?
Absolutely.
So let me ask you the,
God-fearing woman and everything.
Yeah, let me ask you the obvious question then. Did you love him when y'all got married?
I loved him as his person. I was not in love with him. There was no butterflies, but you're a godly man, you're a good person, you know, I see how you worship, we kind of get along right now, and of course the approach was, God told me this and that. And
So he approached you and said God told him that?
He approached me the whole time. He's younger than me and everything. And I'm like, what do you want, kid? But he was very mature for his age, and he even got the gift of speaking in tongues before I did. And then, I'm just like, okay, well, maybe God, I had the butterflies with the other ones and they didn't work.
I want to make sure I heard you correctly. You loved all the spiritual things about him, but there was no intimate love for him. And when I use the word intimacy, it means to come into me and see.
Yes, I was very selfish in that, right? I didn't go into my marriage thinking how I can love him and how I can be this type of person for him. I let him take care of me. Like, that's all he, let me be this man and, and where I was at the time, because I just finished college, I was so the next thing was you find you a husband. I found what I felt was the best man, and then that's what I did, and he, at the time, was more than willing to take on a husband role.
Do you think that somehow the thing you feared the most came on you?
Yes. Things in my marriage that I would constantly think about happening. I'm just not trying to be my mom, but it's still in my head.
Like, name those things.
I remember just coming home one day with groceries in my hand, and I put my hand on the door, and immediately I saw my husband in there with another woman. Like, it would be things like that I just knew was gonna happen.
Did that happen to your mom?
She's definitely caught my dad in some compromising positions, yes.
When did you realize I'm in a marriage and I don't love my husband?
When I put the mirror back on myself and listened to the things that he was saying, and I realized that he's really not asking for anything that a woman in love wouldn't do. And when I checked myself and was like, well, why aren't you putting forth the effort, and why aren't you doing this, that, and the other? And that's when I really realized, it's like, wow, I am not attached to this man the way that I should be. And he definitely deserves to have a woman that he doesn't have to ask to do certain things.
Once you realized this, what happened? What'd you do?
I separated. I moved back to Georgia. He went on deployment a few months after that. So we had our time of separation, and I tried to just focus on myself after that, which kind of has me why I'm still not divorced.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Why not just get a divorce? If that revelation has come to you about how you feel about him, why separate? Why not just go and get a divorce?
Well, because he got deployed literally that next year.
Okay.
So after that year of there's nothing we really can do about it, when he came back home in 2017, there still was no pressure on it. We've just kind of went our own ways, and especially with me and my relationship now, just going on a year, and I believe he's also in a committed relationship. It's time to get out of the gray area, and now that I am back home, I can get that done.
Are you sure you don't love your husband that you're separated from?
Yes, I am sure.
Okay. So why has it become a dilemma in your life to issue a divorce, to end the marriage, to get rid of the gray area so that you can go on with your life? There's got to be something there that's saying to you, you know, you were a PK kid and you saw some things happen. You heard people tell you as a woman, you just need to stick it out, good or bad. You know, if he's beating on you, just stay there. If he's kicking you, just stay there. If he's cheating on you, just stay there, which, by the way, I think is ridiculous. But there are some people that have been raised up to just believe that. I think that's abuse. And I don't care how you look at it, I think it's abuse. You have to accept the responsibility as an adult to get rid of the gray area, because whoever you meet right now, they're running a risk.
Yes.
It's not fair to them, it's not fair to you, it's not fair to your husband. Now, I understand some recent developments have taken place, and you just found out about it last night?
Night before last,
Night.
yes.
What happened?
My ex-husband is engaged.
He's engaged.
He's engaged.
Okay, so how does that make you feel?
When I tried to explain it to people, I got the same reaction. Are you sure now if you acting this way? But my frustration came in, it just kind of reminded me of the communication in our relationship. And it frustrated me all over again. Is, you know, the nitpicking and what you want to tell me and how you want to tell me. And, you know, because again, even when I told him about the show, because I asked him, you know, this opportunity came, are you okay, ... We were on the whole phone conversation, and not one time did you mention you had a ring in your pocket.
Okay, so now it's like, what are you going to do about it? He's engaged to be married, and you're in the gray area. So what are you going to do now?
Try my best to get to a courthouse and finish this process now that I'm back in the state of Georgia and I can do it.
Do you feel that this news is a confirmation once again that you're not loved by him?
It's definitely a confirmation that it's over. I won't say that he doesn't or didn't love me in his own way, but our marriage is over.
But so that we won't make the same mistakes over and over again, how could you have handled it better? Because somewhere here I sense, number one, I'm hurt. You can't be hurt by people you don't care about. So there's obviously some care there. He's put you in a position where he has rejected you and taken on another person. There are all types of things that are going on here with that one discovery that he's engaged with someone. So where does that leave you, and what do we learn from this? I really want you to get to the bottom line truth of this thing. There was no love there, but did you say to him, I need you to do A and B and C? And did y'all ever take the opportunity to go to counseling and get some counsel so that he could take something and say, I need you to do these 5 things in order for this marriage to happen. And I need you to do these 5 things in order for this marriage to happen. And it would cover issues of sex and communication and how you like to be treated. Because no matter where you go, you can go to another state and change your name, but the same you keeps showing up. And I'm trying to make sure that the same you doesn't show up. Whatever you are in your self-esteem, that's what you're going to draw. And you've got to make sure that your self-esteem is on the right level, or you're going to keep drawing the same person. There are people out there who can smell hurt women and want to take advantage of that hurt. And they will test you out and play games and stuff. And this is what I tell my daughters. Nobody has the right to devalue you. Nobody. I don't care who they are. They don't get to devalue you. And you have to live your life so no one has permission to devalue me. And you can see that straight off. You can see that when a person decides whether or not he's going to open the door for you.
Right.
You can see that with a person when he decides whether or not to let you in to see who he is and what he's gone through. You can see that. But I don't want you to put yourself up to be exploited by anybody. You don't have to go through that. It seems to me, unless this is a game, I don't know what on his part, if he's decided he wants to go another way, for you to just kind of sit there and make this thing difficult instead of just dissolving it, then you're going to further devalue yourself. Maybe before you got this news, it would have been pretty cool to let's talk, let's make sure, let's look at some things, let's go to counseling, let's see if anything is there. And I don't know, maybe this may come back to haunt you a little later on, to think, man, it wasn't that bad. Maybe I could have did this and I could have did this. I just didn't know. Somebody says, well, I thought I knew. Well, most of the time we don't know enough. But I need you to care about yourself. I need you to develop a relationship between you and the grace of God, and to know that God loves you in the midst of your brokenness. And He loves you in the midst of your brokenness. He loves you in the midst of your shame. He loves you in the midst of the things that you saw. And He wants you to be free from fear and the hurt and the pain and the shame that you saw your mother go through. You got to let that fear go. And you've got to trust in God enough to say, I trust God. All is well with me. I love myself. I know I'm loved by Jesus Christ. Take yourself out on a date. Go to the movies by yourself. Go to a restaurant by yourself. See, you ain't gonna have no problem being a married woman if you want to be married. But the worst thing you can do is be married and still devaluing yourself and only inviting other people to come in to do the same thing. That's what I want to make sure that you see. That it's really time for you and God to get together and heal the brokenness. Let God heal the brokenness. People who are broken, it's hard for them to live and it's hard for them to lead. And you want to get over that. And somewhere in this marriage, maybe your expectations were not met, and you got memories of my dad and all these ridiculous things, and I ain't nobody gonna treat me like my mom. You got to resolve all that stuff. All that stuff needs to get resolved, and you got to take all of that, put it in a big old plastic bag, and you got to cast it over on the Lord and say, you got that now, I'm done with that. I'm choosing to go in the direction that's gonna be a healthy direction, an inspiring direction, a direction where I can believe that I am who you say I am. Yeah, I am. I am the righteousness of God. I am redeemed. I am loved. I am His beloved. I am forgiven. And I'm awesome. You have to do that. And, oh well, didn't do everything right there. learn some things, understand some stuff, but I'm going to be a dynamic mother. I'm going to make sure my son has an opportunity to have a relationship with his father. And if you can believe who Jesus says you are and that he's with you in the very middle of your brokenness, I don't know, Melody, you just don't know what God will do. If you trust him in the middle of this thing and just say, Lord, help me to do what you want me to do. I don't know. Sometimes men turn around and they look and they say, whoa. And sometimes they don't. You got to be all right with your marriage with Jesus first. And he'll make everything else all right. Amen. How many of you appreciate Melody I just so want you to be happy because marriage is good.
So I've heard.
It's good. It's good. And marriage based on equal ground, where there's a mutual respect for one another, nobody controlling and dominating one another, but it's also an intimate ground where I love you and I want you and I want to be with you. My sons, we all went out. One of them came home for his birthday, and they kept talking about, wanting to be needed by their wives, and now they don't need me anymore. And I said, well, I'm not with your mother because she needs me. I'm with her because she wants me. So we got to move from being needed to being wanted. And I think when marriages are based on, I want you, I want to be there, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, I can't see myself without you, versus I need you, I need your money, I need your job, you follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
So in the future, I want somebody that wants me, I want to be wanted, and I want to want. I think that's the best way to go with that. All is well with you. The possibility of divorce is not only difficult for the partners involved, it's also a difficult time for the entire family and people that are involved in it, especially their children. Now, if you're currently thinking about leaving your partner, or you're going through a divorce, or if you're now recovering from one, God wants to heal you so that you can become whole in every area of your life. Now, for those of you who are married and contemplating divorce, I urge you to seek godly counsel before making a decision. Meanwhile, I put together some resources to help you in whatever stage of decision you're in. My announcer is here to let you know how you can get these resources, and I want them to really be a blessing to your life and to your relationship. We'll be right back.
A healthy marriage is where two people mutually love and support each other. But the statistics show a troubling trend. Marriages are failing, not thriving. Infidelity is on the rise. And worse, so many people are dying inside under the blanket of loveless relationships. On today's show, we met Melody, who along with her husband has been damaged through their loveless relationship. The sad reality is they are not alone. But there is the hope of victory. The advice that Creflo Dollar offered to her today won't just save her situation. It might just be the solution to your own circumstances.
When marriages are based on, I want you, I want to be there, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, I can't see myself without you, versus I need you, I need your money, I need your job, you follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
So in the future, I want somebody that wants me, I want to be wanted, and I want to want. I think that's the best way to go with that.
Creflo is committed to helping you thrive, grow, and find happiness in your most intimate relationships and in those that affect your world every day by showing you how to activate God's grace through today's exclusive offer. First, you will receive Creflo's most popular teaching, Dating 101, which will help you learn the steps to identifying Mr. or Mrs. Right. You will also receive Creflo's Life Talks Marriage Mechanics CD. This message is sure to take your marriage to the next level. Listen as Creflo shows you how you and your partner can empower and support each other. Plus, you will get Life Talks Dating Remastered. Listen to this 2-CD message and find out what you can do to master the single life and learn the biblical way to approaching dating. But wait, call now with your love gift of just $30 or more to the work of Creflo Dollar Ministries, and you will also get the complete, uncut interview with Creflo and Melody. Learn more about the trials that Melody's marriage is facing and find out what you can do to save your own relationships from the brink of destruction. So, that's the Dating 101 CD, the Life Talks Marriage Mechanics CD, the Life Talks Dating Remastered 2 CD series, and the complete uncut interview from today, all for your love gift of just $30 or more. Remember, your tax-deductible gift allows Creflo Dollar Ministries to not just share the message of grace, but also demonstrate God's love through outreach to local and international communities all over the world. Operators are standing by and supplies are limited. Call now.
Listen, if there's something going on in your world and you need help, or if you know someone who needs help, please reach out and connect with us online at yourworldwithcreflo.com for more information. Stay connected with me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and know that I'd love to hear from you. I'll see you next time right here on Your World.
Submission, a forced acceptance or yielding to a superior force or to the will or authority of another person.
To permit someone to be subject to something.
To subject to a treatment or influence.
To abide by the authority of another.
Every day, we are placed in a situation that requires us to yield to the authority of others. But is there any power in submission? We can experience restoration in our finances, our career, and our health. In Taffy Dollar's brand new foundational book, The Grace of Mutual Submission, Taffy Dollar reveals the purpose and power of biblical submission, all according to the Word of God. With the principles and guidance found in The Grace of Mutual Submission, your marriage will be restored, your finances will be secured, your body and mind will be healed, and so much more. It's time to revolutionize submission. Order your copy of The Grace of Mutual Submission now.
You've seen the show. Now come and be a part of it. Join Dr. Dollar and guests as they explore the issues of life, love, and personal growth.
The show was designed to provide hope so that people could understand the grace of God and His unmerited, undeserved favor to make the difference in your life.
For free tickets to be a part of our studio audience, email yourworld@worldchangers.org or online at yourworldwithcreflo.com. When visiting New York and Atlanta, join Creflo Dollar at World Changers Church International. Service times are Saturdays at 6 p.m., Sundays at 10 a.m., and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. For more information, visit us online at creflodollarministries.org. Because of you, Creflo Dollar Ministries is providing a new understanding of grace and empowering change in the lives of millions of people every day. Thank you, partners and friends. Your love and financial support makes it possible to bring this message into millions of homes all across the globe.